Welcome to the Daily Business and Finance Show. In today's episode, we'll delve into Eli Lilly's weight loss drug reversal and Occidental's whopping $12 billion acquisition of CrownRock. We'll also discuss the slip in Walgreens rating by Moody's and the COP28 draft agreement sidestepping fossil fuel phase-out. In tech news, IBM and Micron join forces with New York for a $10 billion chip research facility, while NVIDIA gets a green light to sell chips to China. On the financial front, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow kick off the week on a high note as traders anticipate CPI data and Fed rate decision. We'll also cover TD Cowen's downgrade of CRISPR due to irrational valuation and Arbor Realty boosting its share repurchase program to $150 million. Stay tuned after this short ad break for these stories and more. Pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly experienced a decrease in shares following a study. This research showed that patients regained weight after discontinuing their obesity medication, tirzepatide. The drug resulted in substantial weight loss over a period of 36 weeks. However, stopping the treatment led to an increase in weight by 14% within 1 year. Patients who maintained the therapy experienced additional weight loss. The limitations of this study were recognized.
Occidental Petroleum has plans to purchase CrownRock along with its assets in the Permian Basin for a sum of $12 billion. This move is aimed at enhancing its onshore portfolio. The transaction is anticipated to be finalized in the first quarter of 2024, and it will contribute an additional 170,000 barrels of oil production daily in the year 2024. The funding for this acquisition will be sourced from new debt, issuance of equity, and existing CrownRock debt. Furthermore, Occidental has intentions to increase dividends by 22% and is committed to reducing debt by a minimum of $4.5 billion within the span of 1 year.
The credit rating agency, Moody's Investors Service, has lowered the senior unsecured ratings of Walgreens Boots Alliance to a non-investment grade. This decision is based on the company's high financial leverage and poor cash flow. The downgrade mirrors the difficulties that Walgreens faces as it strives to eradicate operating losses and boost profitability within its U.S. healthcare division. Despite paying off $2.6 billion in debt during the previous fiscal year, Moody's anticipates additional financial pressure due to expenses related to new initiatives and a challenging consumer environment.
The most recent version of the document at the United Nations Climate Summit, known as COP28, does not propose a phase-out of fossil fuels. Rather, it outlines 8 strategies to reduce emissions with a goal of achieving net zero by the year 2050. The specific language used is key in securing backing from major fossil fuel-producing nations such as Saudi Arabia. However, this approach may be met with opposition from countries that are calling for a total phase-out.
The state of New York is joining forces with chip manufacturers, IBM and Micron Technology among them, to pour $10 billion into a state-of-the-art semiconductor research facility at the University at Albany. This initiative is being managed by the nonprofit organization New York Creates. It's projected to generate approximately 700 employment opportunities and attract $9 billion in private funding. The Dutch firm ASML will supply the facility with cutting-edge chip-making machinery. The overarching goal of this endeavor is to establish New York as a leading research center under the auspices of the $53 billion CHIPS Act.
The United States Department of Commerce is currently in talks with NVIDIA, a significant contributor to China's $7 billion artificial intelligence chip industry, regarding the continuation of sales amidst recent export limitations. This development arises as domestic companies such as Tencent strive to occupy the potential gap that may be left by NVIDIA due to these regulatory measures.
United States stocks kicked off the week with slight gains as market participants look forward to crucial inflation figures and decisions from central banks. Despite a drop in the Magnificent Seven technology companies, both NASDAQ Composite and NASDAQ 100 saw an increase by 0.2% and 0.85% respectively. The Standard & Poor's 500 index ascended by 0.39%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose by 0.43%. Market players are predicting that the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates steady, with attention being directed towards discussions of potential future rate reductions in the forthcoming press conference.
TD Cowen has downgraded CRISPR Therapeutics due to perceived overvaluation and worries regarding the adoption of its novel sickle cell disease treatment, Casgevy. The bank anticipates only a slight yearly rise in patients opting for this kind of treatment, as Casgevy competes with Bluebird Bio's Lyfgenia. TD Cowen has established a stock price target for CRISPR at $30.
The board of Arbor Realty has approved an increase in its share buyback scheme, now permitting the buyback of up to $150 million worth of outstanding common stock. The duration for this scheme is unspecified and may be altered. And that's a wrap on the Daily Business and Finance Show. Stay informed, stay ahead, and remember, every penny counts. Until next time, goodbye. I'm Montgomery Jones.
And I'm Amalia Dupre. Let's part ways for now, until tomorrow arrives.
This content is sourced from the Seeking Alpha website, so support our podcast by becoming a Seeking Alpha Premium subscriber. See the show notes page for links to sign up. This episode is produced by Classic Studios. This podcast provides information only and should not be construed as financial or business advice. Check out our other podcasts in our network at classicstudios.com.